So it's Monday midday, busy start to the day. Obviously finishing that other box with the panelling. Also got to make, also made another one off the Chippy project. There's the box. Loads of these are broke off again, so glued them back on. Same with that one, but we've done this one differently, so we bedded this one in to where it is now. Say the job was in it and that was flat, and then you just ram the top part up differently to the way we've done that one to see if it would work better. But I think more would come off, but that's fine. Put them back on. Obviously we've got the runner down the bottom again, and we're going to run it in. We'll have a riser off there and a riser off that one there. So I'll plod along with that, and then obviously once we've done that one we'll be doing the brackets once we've got this out and ready, so we'll do the brackets as well. Loads of shop blastings coming, which is great. We had a fireplace come in before that was actually polished cast iron. It looked horrible, but it was only 400 quid for the fireplace and the base plate, which I thought was like extremely cheap. That's brand new. Don't know how you've done that, because obviously the time involved in making all of that's a lot longer than what. It's like metal in the fireplace is hardly anything anyway, so metal is fine. But it's mad the way you can buy them off someone for 400 quid. Obviously they've got to make a profit on it. Yeah, it's mad. Well, that's the world we're living in. But we've got loads of fireplaces in, so hopefully this one we're going to take you in when I'll video this one, because this is the nicest out of all of them. This one's pink. Well, it's got pink paint on. I'd love to know who has a pink fireplace, as well as all of these ones. But we do also have 35 pipes in, quite a lot, and he wants them back for 4 o'clock. He only brought them at 12. I don't think we're going to get them done for 4 o'clock, I'm not going to lie, to get in the galvos. It's too many, different sizes, not all big, not all small, variety of different ones. But the customer, obviously they were on a stop, they had made a payment, so they're on it, back on, waiting on a remittance. There's like 30 invoices under this one payment, and I don't know which ones to mark off. It's just one of them. It's quite annoying when it's like that, but it is what it is. So Steve has been cracking on. We've got a couple over there, we've got a couple done there, we've got all these to go on with. So there's a couple of hours worth of work just in blasting all of them. Variety of different ones. And then we've also got variety of different ones in there, so obviously I've got to pallet them all back up again and wrap them all up, so I'm going to put all the little ones in the boxes, get them on pallets, because obviously we've got to get them on the flat back. But obviously casting wise, obviously plodding along with this, we have got a couple of other jobs on. Oh yeah, so last week obviously we got rid of all them patterns, didn't we? And Paul had been busy because he's decided he's going to make a railing head stand. So I don't know if we'll be able to see here, but wait till you see all these railing heads. It's got shelves and shelves of different railing heads. Some of them are brilliant. Here, let's see, I've put the light on. Some mad little things on the top, more railing heads. Different ones along the bottoms, more on the bottom shelf. Where I was going to put patterns here, he's put bloody railing heads. Like we're going to need all of this space just for railing heads. Look at them bad boys, they're naughty, aren't they? So if you want any railing heads, there's all sorts of mild stuff. Look at these big bad boys on the top. Wouldn't mind, we've got some of these in like patterns on a board. We've got loads on boards. Like here, yeah. So here's some on a board, look. think these are the Everton Park ones. Obviously, if you're not from Liverpool, you won't know what Everton Park is. There's another one there. Oh, fucking door, man. Yeah, so that's really it. Onwards and upwards. So it is Tuesday. So yesterday we obviously had all them pipes, didn't we? And we actually got them complete. They had to be done because they had to get to the galvos to get picked up for 7 o'clock this morning. Well, early on this morning for the job because we were behind. So we completed them at 22:05. Obviously we normally finish at 4:30 or leave at 4:30, so yeah, bit one of them, but we got the job done because obviously the customer needed the pipes back, and obviously it is what it is. So that's all done. So Steve has been in the blaster, blasting fireplaces. Whoa, what's going on here? Blasting fireplaces, so I've actually videoed 2 of them. So let's see how they look. Right, so in terms of moulding, we have been moulding the brackets, and the way we've done them is we've put 2 in a box, and we're not going to run them both together, we're actually going to run them separate, so it'll still be 2 castings ran separately but in the same box, obviously because of the size of it, etc. But doing it, so there's actual taper on the castings and the way you've got to do it. So the way we do it is obviously each casting is tapered, and obviously the joint is one side, not central. So the way you got to do it is the way we've done it is we've bedded one in, made it flat, and then also done a flat bottom and sat one on top and jointed it up that way. And then obviously I took it off, smoothed it out, made it nice, and then obviously you ram the top up. And then once we've rammed the top up, we end up with jobs looking like this. These obviously just been mould coated. So as we can see, we've got the one in the ground, well, in the mould, and then one sat on top. Obviously still makes a joint until it makes the outline. And then obviously that matches up with this one here, which has come out sound. Obviously the odd little bits have broke off, but we just glued them back on. The ones that we were doing yesterday, obviously the big one, that is complete. It is behind me there. So that is also done. Just been getting all the boxes in for the other 3. So there's just like 3 straight ones. So yeah. So here's the 3. So obviously these are all going to be separate jobs in separate moulding boxes. This one's the smallest. Then there's this one, and then there's this one, which is the longest, which we've got to do, which is good. So obviously them done. I've got another box of the angle brackets to make. It's a nice bracket, to be fair to you, which is alright. Obviously there's more fireplaces, also got more car parts in for blasting, well, Land Rover parts. Variety of different things. It looks like someone's full Land Rover. Do you know what, that's more than one, that's 2. And they might not be Land Rover. They look like the Land Rover ones. TZ5 maybe. Engine. I don't know what that one's off. Yeah. So, a little busy. Early start today because me and Paul are going to the match in Wolverhampton, so we're leaving at 2. Go and get showered, get ready and head up to Birmingham before, well, we're going to hit rush hour, aren't we, so which is going to be fun and games, but hopefully another win for the Blues down there, or up there, or whichever way you say it. You don't really know. Yeah, so then tomorrow, another set of angle brackets to make, and more to make, which is good. So, onwards and upwards, and let's see what the day brings us. Nothing else scheduled, got a couple of other little jobs on as well, which I'll explain tomorrow, or when I go to do them. But as of for now, that's tea time, dinner time. So it is Thursday. Obviously yesterday very busy as we were sorting jobs out, sorting a lot of different things out. You know, obviously with the project Chippy. We've done this. So obviously I haven't done the top, so I'm going to do that today. Same as the one we've done the other one. Obviously we've got the bracket, corner bracket there, sat on top. Corner bracket there, bedded in and jointed up, and then what else we've done is we put the little one in the middle. We aren't running them all together, they are going to be run separately, the same as like normal. Obviously I don't really fancy joining that up to make that run, or joining them, do you know what I mean? So I don't think it'll run. Obviously it is cast iron, it could run, but at the same time I'd rather play the safer option and just run them separately. It won't really do any harm doing it that way. And obviously because the box is bigger, we might as well throw that one job in. Obviously I've got another one of them to make after this one, and I also have the longer one to make, which is good. Obviously David is on our sand supplies golf day and Paul's gone fishing, so it's just me and Steve. So we had a couple of gates in. The car parts, customers moaning about the price, so we weren't meant to do it, but while me and Paul obviously went to match, which was awful, Steve had done a couple, so he'd done the radius arms in little bits. Obviously the axles aren't done, so told them that they'll be next week. That big gate there. So we had this big huge black gate, which we've got one in the blaster. Obviously Steve's going to be with me. Don't need him in the blaster anyway today. But here's the other one. So the lad who's brought this for blasting, it's actually going for galvanising. So it needs obviously the paint coming off first before galvo. Obviously it's going to give it its good key, so it'll take better, which means the galvo will last longer, because it's more, obviously it's hot metal in it. Obviously there's only little signs, a little bits of rust there as well, so which is not really too bad, just the same on all the joints. It's mad because obviously that's a little casting and it has a little hole there, a little rivet, which obviously secures that. These railing heads are actually screwed in and then tacked, so obviously rust in the gaps there as well. And this is quite heavy of a gate. Look at that head there, look the way that's rusting now, that's weird that. Tacked on. One of the heads moves on one of them. Oh yeah, that one there, look. That's mad, that, innit? Cast head. So believe it or not, the fella who's brought that is obviously his customers got these and basically said they've won them in an auction. So we think they might have come from overseas. It looks like something that maybe it's done on batch production, maybe, in overseas, Asia, somewhere, China, something like that. But obviously when it's blasted, it should look like that one. Which obviously all the paint removed, looks sound. Got a couple of other jobs in as well. Obviously I'm not going to show you until we really start them. But obviously ideally I wanted to cast tomorrow. Obviously I get this done, get that one done, then get that one out and get that one done. but it's probably out of the question because I've got a lot more cast iron jobs on. For example, that little tiny top hat, got to make that. Straightforward job, we've done a couple of them. And we've also got this in. This is one of the council jobs that we do work for. One of the only councils. But yeah, well, grey panel, it was black and it was coated in a lot of paint. Extremely amount, a lot of paint. And then there's the little two-piece, which I've got to weld together, because it should be together. And then obviously make two off, which obviously also creates this little square. As well, machine shop jobs are done, so pick them up, so we'll go and have a look at them now. Sorting all the little jobs out too, which could be quite interesting if it comes on in the background, you know what I mean. It's a job from like World War II, a die cast, but we've got to figure out a way to make the job work. So the lids that we cast, all machined. Obviously the front face is exactly the same, but the back face is now machined. Look at that, looks lovely. Have a little close up, look at the finish. Machined and holes put in, so we've got 4 of them, which go in that box. I always laughed at the machine shop, give us boxes. And then we have our hanger brackets, all machined, straight through the hole, round the outside, because that's the dimension it should be. Obviously our patterns, obviously got taper, etc. So they've sort of taken that off to square it off. Obviously you got your hole there and your holes there. Look good, don't they? Obviously the box there. So that is mainly it. Obviously I'm going to crack on with these jobs. Main stay, not having to stay in the blaster, because I've got other things to do. Well, he's going to give us a lift ramming and up and that. Obviously only me and him in, so yeah. I bet you the phone goes a bit dead busy. We also had a woman, right? So yesterday a man and a woman come actually. I wanted cast railings, and my head fell off because you don't really get that anymore, do you know what I mean? For their own house. But she doesn't like welding, so she wants a cast, which is sick. And it's an older house, so it fits the like nature of the house. So they come in and had a little look around, see what they liked, and so see if anything comes from that. But because the railing she took a picture of down in Kensington is we've already got the pattern equipment for anyway, but the only problem is she wants a cast gate as well. So we've got to figure out a way of how to make it a cast gate, which maybe might be cut the panel up, weld it together and then cast it so it doesn't have a weld in, etc. But it's doable, isn't it? Everything's doable, nothing's impossible. And yeah, so let's see what else comes in off maybe today, maybe not. Onwards and upwards. So it is Friday. We're ready to cast. We have all the jobs, all on the floors. We've got them everywhere. 1 there, 2, 1 under my feet here, 3. The triple one which I completed yesterday, and all loads of the single ones. So we'll be casting them now with the furnace being on, which is obviously the high pitched noise in the background. See how we cast, see how we get on. I don't know. And then we get to find out the results of the castings on Monday. Steve also finished the big gates. Back on with the car axles, which he's doing now. Which are there and there. I think there's another 2 in the blaster, more there. Them jobs are still there, but he has paid for them, which is good. So we have a load of like our shot dust and shot off the shot blaster that we've collected, and all our barrels. And the scrap man come before, so we asked him, do you want to take them? And the slag and that. So at the moment he's back and forwards with the scrap yard trying to get rid of it. For us, we don't want that before, I just want to get rid of it. I'm fed up of looking at it. And it's creating more space, which is fantastic. But yesterday, obviously, it was just me and Steve. And obviously, we were going to be doing these jobs. But We ended up with pipes in that had to be get done urgently. But just before that, we had the powder coaters on for a job that was also urgent, which we also had to get done. So, busy day with the shop last day. Left me struggling with that job on my own. And obviously getting her out, and it was a corner piece, had the chains hooking her up. But it wobbles, and it was a nightmare, and pieces come off, and yeah. It wasn't the best of jobs on your own. It was a bit hard, but obviously messing around with other things as well, which is great, but yeah, it's one of them. The castings that we done, I don't know if I said yesterday, machines ones, they got picked up last night from the house, custom made up. But I'm just about to have my dinner, chicken and rice and avocado. And then we'll get ready to cast. So before we cast, don't forget, give us a like and a comment. No, a like and a subscribe ideally, you know what I mean. Onwards and upwards, and we'll see how we get on. Hopefully I can film the way I filmed it last time, with me following the cast instead of just a GoPro. But Paul's shooting down to Crosby because he wanted to hand some brochures out, because while he was down there the other day, he noticed that loads of railing heads were missing and brackets were missing off houses, so he wanted to go down and hand some leaflets out, which he's done before and hopes to and nothing come of it. So ideally I don't think it's worth it, but that's what he wanted to do, and that's what he's going to do. Let him be. It is what it is, but onwards and upwards, so let's cast. Oh shit. Pull that riser by, use the riser. There and there. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah.